All right, everybody. Today, I thought we could enjoy going over the Chris Reeve Umnumzaan, or lovingly referred to as the Zaan for short, Zaan. I put off making this video for a long time. It is one that I take very seriously. The Umnumzaan is the collection killer to a lot of people. It's sort of a knife that once people have, it can kind of become the end-all be-all knife that they enjoy, really the only one that they carry. The Umnumzaan has a very dedicated cult following called Zaan Gang or the Zaan Brotherhood. It's a phenomenal knife. It's a unique knife. It is a USA made titanium frame lock. The Umnumzaan comes in two different blade configurations, the Tonto and the drop point. I have the Tonto, as you can see. I had my Umnumzaan Cerakoted. They're not usually this black color. Usually they're they're glass blast like my Nkosi, or they're sand blast. I don't have an example. But I had mine Cerakoted. I don't feel comfortable naming the Cerakote person, but if you are interested, comment down below and I'll respond and we'll figure out how to get that to happen for you. My Cerakoter did a phenomenal job. I have the MIM clip, or the I think it's metal injection molding clip. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. I have a Lanyard delete pin. The Sabenza and the Umnumzaan both have a lanyard pin in them. The Nkosi doesn't. You can see there's not a secondary little pin there. If you just remove the lanyard off of the pin is loose and rattles. It's designed to have a little play in it so that the lanyard can flop about. So you need to get a pin delete or a backspacer, or you can just remove it and have it be an empty hole. The Umnumzaan has a learning curve. I hear a lot of complaints when people first get their first Umnumzaan about it hurting their thumb, the deployment. But as the way I was taught is there's this surface here, this chamfering. If you take your thumb and you just run it along that surface, and your thumbnail is what makes contact with the pin, and you just follow through using it as a ramp, it is flawless every time. And it doesn't hurt your thumb at all because it's the thumbnail that's actually what's in contact. Then the other complaint that I hear people with new Umnumzaans make is the disengagement. If you put your thumb in at this angle to actuate the lock bar, it is going to hurt your thumb. But if you come in with the side angle and let the whole meat of your thumb press into the lock, it doesn't hurt. It's actually quite comfortable. So I feel like the two complaints that people have about the Umnumzaan are really just learning curve issues. They just need to get good, as it were. I don't have a Jekyll to hide backspacer for my Umnumzaan. I've considered getting a zirconium one or getting one and having it Cerakoted. When I got this Cerakoted, I only had the MIM clip and the lanyard delete. And I went for a full black Cerakote and a mirror polish finish. The mirror polishing is this has been a user for me. It has some marks you can see up here where the Cerakote is fading, and then the MIM clip shows somewhere that it's fading. I know someone who can DLC an Umnumzaan. I chose to get it Cerakoted for a few reasons, not the least of which being I just wanted it a faster turnaround time and cheaper. And Cerakote is faster turnaround time and cheaper than DLCing. I think if I were to do it again, if I were to do it over, I would probably still do the Cerakote because I like the wear. But if I get another Umnumzaan, I'll probably DLC it, to be honest with you. It voids the warranty, but I have my warranty intact on my Nkosi, and I think the Umnumzaan just looks something incredible when it's in its black form, the dark Zaan. So, as I mentioned, the Umnumzaan has two blade configurations, this Tonto, this gorgeous Tonto, and a drop point, which has a swedge up here back along the spine of the blade that is slightly sharpened. They both have this dip here, and they both have the same jimping, but the swedge is differentiated between the drop point and the Tonto. Now, as for the handle itself, it comes in three configurations. This standard Umnumzaan, then there is a monkey edge frag pattern where this frag is lined up correctly and it encompasses almost the entire half of, or the entire scale. There's a little bit up top that is not fragged. And then the third is the WC, or the Wilson Combat, and it has a spread array in lines from the top going out like a sunburst. Those ones are more expensive, as I believe they've stopped producing them, whereas the monkey edge frag pattern ones are still in production. They are more premium than the standard Umnumzaan, and then therefore do cost more, but they are still in production. Now, the Umnumzaan has a lock bar stop, which neither the Sabenza or the Nkosi have. I think that would be one of my only complaints about the Nkosi. It has a ceramic ball that works as its detent as well as its stop interface on the lock. So it's right here. Let's see if I can shine a light in there. Right in there. Oh. Well, you can kind of see it right there at the extension of my thumb. It is what interacts with the lock face on the blade. therefore it will not wear down as fast as titanium would. It is a little less grippy than titanium, so some people prefer the older Sebenza models that have the Sebenza 21s that have the retro titanium to steel interface, whereas the Sebenza 31s, the Inkosis, and the Umnumzaans all have the ceramic ball interface. And then I'm not sure about if they're older when the ceramic ball. The Umnumzaan came out in 2008. The Sebenza is even older, and the Inkosi was dropped in 2016, I believe. I could be wrong on those years, but I'm pretty sure 2008 for the Umnumzaan and 2016 for the Inkosi. So I don't know when the ceramic ball was inserted into the play, but I love it. It prevents lock stick. It feels solid. It does make it look like your lockup is farther than it really is. That's on any of the ones with the ceramic ball, people notice or like think that it's too far at first. And in a traditional lockup, frame lock, titanium frame lock like this, if there was no ceramic ball, that would be a pretty, I think my Inkosi is even, locks up even further. Yeah, see the Inkosi's, it looks like it's a solid 80% lockup, but it's not. You can see where it actually locks up here on the back, how far. You can see that darker spot. And the same goes for the Umnumzaan. It's even more noticeable on the Umnumzaan because the Cerakote's pushed aside. So it's about a 50% on this. It's kind of hard to tell on the video with the angle, but it's about a 50% lockup, and it hasn't moved. Sometimes I can, I can get it to reverse flick sometimes. This is still on washers. I'm not going to bearing mod it. There's another one there. I have to use my wrist a lot, so it's cheating, and then it's without fail with the thumb. I hope those clicks aren't too loud on the speakers, so I apologize if they are. But yeah, this is the Umnumzaan. Okay, let's get a couple things out of the way here. We have a 3 3/4 inch blade and an overall length of 8 1/4, maybe 3/8. Yeah. It is, as I said, a titanium frame lock. It came in this box, as I mentioned in the large Inkosi video. The Chris Reeve knives come in these beautiful boxes. This one is made of has a Magna Cut blade. It was glass blasted, or I guess is glass blasted before the Cerakote job. Here is the date of birth and certificate of authenticity. This is January 23rd, 2025, so just this year, though the very beginning of it. And then it comes with your fluorinated grease and your tools and your Loctite. Here's the lanyard. He was nice enough to Cerakote the lanyard pin for me too, which is phenomenal. And then my original, he Cerakoted all the hardware. So the original, I'm at a loss for words, clip. There we go. The original pocket clip. And then I had purchased extra O-rings, just in case. Just in case. Eventually, I think they'll eventually wear out, so... maybe less now, maybe it'll be a lot longer than it was. For a while there, I was using this Umnumzaan daily until I got my Nkosi every single day. And to be honest with you, I don't want to say that I like the Umnumzaan more than the Nkosi. The thing is that I only carry the Nkosi because I can reverse flick it. And reverse flicking is my preferred method of deployment. I absolutely want to be able to reverse flick my knife. And with the Nkosi, oops. Oh no. Well, that happened. With the Nkosi, I can reverse flick it. It's just kind of impossible to do with, unless you are on bearing mods, or unless you, it would have to be really greased, and thumb studs would really help. Thumb stud swap would really help, but being able to regularly reverse flick the Umnumzaan is sort of not realistic. At least not juxtaposed to the large Nkosi. And then the Sebenza they don't even all come with reverse flick double studs. And there are dual stud Sebenzas. And if I ever get a Sebenza, I would absolutely get a dual stud Sebenza, which I guess is not out of the realm of possibility. But right now, the next knife that I would be investing in is another Hinderer. At the moment, I don't have my Trinity. I only have a Strider and these two CRKs. But Hinderer, having that back in the mix would complete my Trinity again. So I'm looking at an Eclipse, obviously. So someday. Maybe sooner, maybe later. Who knows? But anyways, I appreciate you taking the time to look over the Umnumzaan with me. It is more ergonomic than people say. The Umnumzaan's a phenomenal knife. It's a collection killer for a reason. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time for the next EDC flashlight or knife or Zippo or whatever it may be. I would really appreciate if you liked and subscribed the video, and you have a wonderful night or day or whatever time it is for you.